Hi, my name is Andrea Capere, and you're watching Mission Nonprofit. Each month, we connect with local organizations and agencies that are making a positive impact in our communities. It's back to school season, and we've invited Executive Director Tanya Moat and Board President Lynette McCarty of the South Puget Sound Community College Foundation to talk with us about their work in supporting students in their post-secondary educations. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
So tell us about the South Puget Sound Community College Foundation. What is its mission?
Great. So South Puget Sound Community College is the only community college in Thurston County. So a lot of people don't know that, number one. And number two, that we have 7,000 students. That's a lot of students. And we have 2 locations now, both in Olympia and Lacey. So the foundation started in 1982 to be able to provide resources for students who would like to access education but wouldn't be able to financially. So we provide resources and we build community to support student success and also college initiatives.
And what is the role that the foundation plays in just the day-to-day of a student accessing assistance for their tuition or other needs that they may have?
So we provide a number of resources. Certainly, probably our largest is scholarships. We provide scholarships for students, and we've been really fortunate to have individuals and businesses come forward over the years and say, absolutely, I'd like to help with that. And those are local service organizations and someone that would just like to name a scholarship after someone that's been important to them. And so last year, we were able to give out $450,000 in scholarships, which is really exciting.
And what are some of the programs and services that you provide?
So in addition to scholarships, we provide, fortunately, emergency funding. We know that once a student gets to school, that's wonderful, but sometimes life happens, right? And so someone might be evicted from their apartment or need new tires for their car, or I bought someone's shoes last week, so I had to check for that. Those are the kinds of things that could stop a student from achieving their educational dreams. And so fortunately, we're able to step in at that point and say, we can support you. So we do that. We also have a tools and fees fund and a book fund. And really, once students are in sort of the scholarship circle, we like to say they're in the foundation family, and they receive emails from us, and we engage them and provide networking opportunities and invite them to the scholarship reception and make sure that we're putting these students out in front of people and business leaders. And we've seen some great successes with that in terms of someone will meet a student and then hire them, which is exactly what we'd like to see.
And speaking of that, we had talked about some of the personal connections to this really necessary work. Lynette, you have hired a scholarship recipient?
Yes, I've been on the board for about 8 years now and have sort of been through all the processes and watchful of everything that goes on within the foundation. And a couple of years ago, I was at the Clipper Scramble, which is one of the fundraising activities that the foundation does. And we had a speaker that was a young woman who wanted to go into education. And I was so taken by her and taken by her enthusiasm and everything that was going on. We happened to have a job that fit her, everything that she was headed into. So I talked to her and we hired her, and she worked with us for 1.5 years until her life changed a little bit, and then we parted ways. But we're still friends, and it was a neat thing to see how the two can interact. As a small business owner, the college is an important element in the community that I feel. I went through community college and then finished up at Evergreen and was one of those students who went through the process very differently than the 4-year sort of way of doing things. So it was pretty cool.
So it sounds like this is really deeply personal work for both of you.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
Well, how about we take a moment to see some of the stories from your scholarship recipients and see how they've been personally impacted by the foundation.
I've had 6 brain and spine surgeries. I have 13 different diseases on the National Rare Disorders list.
I came off active duty in 2011, and I was having my first child.
I guess my biggest challenge really was coming from a situation of domestic violence and poverty. It was difficult to get back into the world.
Paying for college has been a real challenge. My last year I spent working 35 hours a week, on top of helping my dad out and being a full-time student.
I come from the Northern Mariana Islands, and specifically I come from Saipan.
It's really hard to switch from, "Hi, how are you doing today?" to quadratic equation.
I didn't think I could make it or stand on my own 2 feet.
Being unemployed is what scared me.
I wanted to be more than I was, and I wanted others to know that that was possible.
It all goes back to my family, you know, I'd do anything for them.
Well, my big dream is to be a neurosurgeon. I really just have this weird fascination with tinkering around with things, and I mean, I won't cut anyone's head open anytime soon.
I'm really passionate about becoming a special education teacher.
I really want to be able to have the effect my nurses had on me and touch the hearts of my patients and let them know that I'm there to support them and understand them and bring some hope into their lives when they need it.
It's just a great satisfaction, sense of accomplishment to know that you were able to repair something.
Never really had friends that could get it or understand me or support me, but my nurses were always there for me anytime.
A lot of people have challenges and fall through the cracks. And it's my mission in life to make sure no one ever falls through the cracks.
Passionate about engineering because I'm really interested in how machines work and how the devices work.
What's not fun about melting metal?
I have one life, I have to do something with it.
So I decided to go to SPS because I've needed the flexibility. I can pay for it as I go because my parents can't afford it at all.
When I went to the South Puget Sound Community College website, I saw a quote in there, and I loved what the quote said in the site. And it said, "We help you with the skills you need for the life you want." That quote itself got me into wanting to enroll in this school.
I heard a lot of good things about the welding program, and I decided to check it out, and I haven't looked back since.
I picked SPSCC because it was the most affordable education I could get around the area.
When I came here, your staff and the students here and just everyone made me feel so capable and like I can do this.
I really enjoy learning because it makes me feel like I have a reason to live, more questions to ask, more things to be answered. And that's how I want to live the rest of my life.
Of my 6 children, 4 of them are in college. And they're in college because they saw what I did. I think that's the most amazing thing, is to show my children that there's a better life and that it's not just okay to dream, but it's so necessary to reach for your goals and your dreams.
When I was notified that I was given the Mariana Housing Scholarship from the Foundation Scholarships, it was really exciting and I was full of hope.
Without a scholarship or financial aid, I couldn't be here at all.
I'm really excited about my final year, and it's so satisfying to say I got one more year left.
My future is so much brighter than it was.
It's all, I've been here this long because I've gotten so much help from the school.
I feel like I can do it, but somebody else does too. And that makes it so much more worthwhile.
So that was just some of the stories that I was sent about some of our scholarship recipients. And some of those stories have been about board members that have personally been impacted or have impacted the lives of these students. Can you tell me a little bit more about the board, the role of it, and some of the exciting work that you're doing?
So the board is exciting because we work with the foundation closely as community leaders to really rally other people in the community that we know, friends and family, and the community at large to understand what the college is all about. I think we want to be sure that we're not the best kept secret, that everyone knows that it exists, what it does, what it's capable of, and our job is to raise money in order to make sure that our scholarships are funded. In addition to that, we work at building community so that people are aware of the potential give, even in terms of at the end of life, and giving scholarships that will live forever. And so there's lots of opportunity for us to be in the community and share about the college and share about the good work that's going on. And the scholarships, we get to read those. We as the board get to read those stories, and we get to connect those stories to the community. We get to talk about the stories that are so heartfelt in telling about why they need money. And if we had, all of us, if we had $1 billion, would give everything away to all of these students who work really hard to make a change in their life. And so it's powerful work, and it's meaningful work, and it's volunteer that doesn't feel like that at all. It is definitely a passionate involvement that I know for me I've sat next to my scholarship recipient. I give a scholarship annually from my business, and last year was able to sit right next to the recipient and talk to her about what that felt like and what that meant to her. And I can't tell you what that means to me and really to the community, and that's what we're out there doing.
And it's not an abstract concept. Mm-hmm. You are sitting right next to that recipient. Mm-hmm. They are a person. You get to hear about their life's journey. One of the videos that you provided to me included a person who was being treated in the hospital by someone who studied at South Puget Sound Community College, and through their studies was able to provide high quality care to one of the board members. And that was an anecdote that I was deeply moved by. So what are some of the scholarships that you are raising funds for?
So we're raising funds for lots of different scholarships, and sometimes scholarship is, people think that's a big scary word. It's not. It's actually incredibly easy for students to access, and it's incredibly easy to start one. And it's, it doesn't cost very much to start one. So we have a lot of people that start scholarships in their service club name or in a family member that's really important to them. So those certainly we raise funds for all the time. But additionally, it used to be that we were all about access, getting the student in the door, and now we're about completion. So we want to get the student in the door, support them while they're there, and then get them across the graduation stage. So we've started a fund called the Student Success Fund that's going to help us with that, and then also a completion fund for students who are in their last quarter that we really want to be able to support. Lots of other scholarships that we're fundraising for, but those are probably the two biggest ones right now.
And you said it's really easy and it doesn't cost that much. So how does the average community member, how do they get involved and donate and make a difference in a person's educational journey?
So it really is pretty easy. So an average scholarship starts at $1,000. That's $83 a month. So some people do payroll deduction or give through a combined fund drive, or give us a check or something like that. But the funnest thing is being able to see someone start a scholarship, and then that $1,000 goes 100% directly to that student, and then they get to meet that student. I mean, what an impact, right? And then we find that it gives to the donor and it gives to the student equally. It's a beautiful thing to watch.
And we talked about access and completion. So this is a deeply personal work that you're doing for me, because I've seen some of the challenges firsthand and have received scholarships as well. So what are some of the challenges that you see students facing in completing their degree?
Well, part of the issue on our campus, at least, is that 58% of our population are going to school and raising family at the same time, right? So that's not just, I have to study for my quadratic equation or whatever he said in the video. It's, I have to get my kids to school. I have to pay for my kids' food and shelter and all those kinds of things, go to work, and then go to school and study. Wow, that's a lot. So that's where we come in, and we really want to eliminate financial barriers so that that's one less thing that students have to think about.
And with just a few minutes left, I hear you have an event coming up. Can you share with us a little bit about it?
We're very excited. We have our largest fundraiser is our annual, it's October 7th, and it's called The Experience. We rebranded it about 3 years ago because we wanted everyone that came to experience firsthand what the college is and really have them feel what the students' participation is and what they're giving to. So part of it is a great party, part of it is good food, part of it is community and just really getting to connect with those people in the community. But for example, last year, all of our students, which there were over 100 volunteer students there, stood around the room with the impact being what it is that they wanted to be when they grew up, in other words. So we saw words on a page like doctor, nurse, lawyer, educator. There were many, many, many different reasons why they were there. And so that impact alone and the fundraiser itself just raises the awareness, and it is a great experience. This year we are bringing in a great entertainment, which we do in order just to have the party be fun, and while at the same time really doing good, strong work to bring forth the money we need for the scholarships.
And that was October
7th.
October
Yes.
7th. Okay, and where can we find information online or?
Definitely online on our website, so SPSCC, and I don't know the exact names of it.
I think if you type in the experience, you'll go right there. Experience SPSCC, you'll go right there. And
Great.
it'll give you some pictures and probably show you an invitation. And this year we're looking at student success as the key. And so everything is around the key to student success.
Great. Well, thank you both so much for coming.
Thanks for having us.
That's all we have for you tonight. You can see Mission Nonprofit on Channel 77 on Sundays at 4:30 p.m., Tuesdays at 7 p.m., Thursdays at 7:30 p.m., and Saturdays at 6:30 p.m. You can also catch us online at tcmedia.org. See you next time.